located on the roofs of buildings, such as HVAC equipment, light fixtures, security cameras, satellite dishes, and antenna, must be regularly maintained. These roofs are often flat and typically accessed by fixed ladders through access hatches or fixed stairs and doors. Roofs may or may not have parapets, and these parapets vary in height. If the parapet is less than 42 inches, it does not offer fall protection. Workers have fallen from roofs while working too close to an unprotected or inadequately protected roof edge, skylight, and access hatch. OSHA requires the use of a guardrail system to protect workers from falls of 4 or more feet. In a perfect world, guardrails would be placed along the edges of roofs, around pieces of equipment requiring frequent maintenance, as well as around skylights or other openings. But this is often not the case. How should you protect yourself from falls when working on a flat roof where there are unprotected edges, skylights, and access hatches? Roof access hatches and doors should remain locked at all times, and access to the roof should be restricted to trained individuals. Standard operating procedures for roof work should be prepared, which address the fall protection issues posed by unprotected edges, skylights, and access hatches. The simplest approach to controlling the fall hazard associated with the roof hatch is to simply close the hatch cover once on the roof. Just don't lock yourself out. If the hatch must be left open to facilitate the movement of materials or tools, a temporary counterbalanced guardrail or a personal fall arrest system may be used. Skylights should be protected with guardrails or a suitable screen, one that can support at least 200 pounds. Finally, if work such as inspection, maintenance, or repair is performed within 10 feet of an unprotected edge, the edge must be protected with guardrails, or you must wear a full-body harness with a lanyard attached to a fixed support or lifeline. On buildings that are only a few stories, it is sometimes possible to perform this work from the ground using ladders or aerial lifts. Work performed on roof locations greater than 10 feet from an unprotected edge can be addressed by creating a designated area. The designated area must be surrounded by a rope, a wire, or a chain and supporting stanchions that can withstand a force of at least 16 pounds before tipping over. The lines have additional strength, height, and visibility requirements, but remember, they are merely guide wires and should never be mistaken for lifelines. In this recently constructed building, the HVAC equipment was placed away from the edge within a designated area surrounded by a metal barrier. Access to and from the designated area from the roof entry point must also be delineated with lines and stanchions meeting the same criteria. Let's take a few moments to review some actual accidents to see if we can identify how they could have been prevented. Case study number 1. A 38-year-old maintenance worker was welding support hangers on a roof for the heating, ventilation, and air conditioning system. While putting fire blankets over some existing ductwork and stepping over the ductwork, he tripped and stepped into an 18 by 24 inch skylight opening. The worker fell 20 feet and landed on the concrete floor, striking the back of his head. He was pronounced dead 2 hours later at the emergency room of a local hospital. How could this have been prevented? Prior to beginning work on any project, the fall hazards must be identified, evaluated, and the appropriate safety interventions outlined in a fall protection plan. In this case, railings should have been placed around the skylight or a protective screen placed on the skylight. Case study number 2. A 60-year-old physical plant director was using the roof of the campus library as an observation point to inspect campus facilities for wind damage. High wind conditions with gusts to 30 miles per hour existed at the time of the incident. The physical plant director was walking around the perimeter of the roof when he tripped on a utility vent pipe located near the low parapet of the roof and fell 120 feet to his death. How could this have been prevented? There are several approaches that could have been used to address the fall hazard in this case. First, permanent railings could have been constructed around the perimeter of the roof or the parapet raised. Alternatively, a portion of the roof greater than 10 feet from the edge could have been surrounded with wire and supporting stanchions and identified as the designated area for observations. Finally, a personal fall arrest system could have been developed for the roof that allowed individuals to tie on to horizontal lifelines. My name is Tina Crum. I've been a member of Operating Engineers Local 501 since 1989. I'm a graduated apprentice, and I'm currently clowning around at the Circus in Las Vegas, Nevada.